Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mahala Monday. So first things first, I need to tell you this is a pre-recorded show. And secondly, as you can see, my partner in crime is not here. Dougal unfortunately had another prior engagement he has to see to and could not make it tonight. So Dougal, I've got your back. So before we start the show, I want to tell you about an interesting story that happened to me and such a fabulous week I actually had as well. So firstly, get your coffee, get your tea, get your glass of water if you do have to hydrate like Dougal normally says. And Mark, if you're out there, you need to get your glass of wine. And those that's having a plate of food, enjoy it. So firstly, it is Disability Awareness Month. And I took a trip with Tarryn Tomlinson and Siv Ngesi to Marine Dymanics. To celebrate Disability Awareness Month, Tarryn and Siv took on an unforgettable challenge. They went shark cage diving. These two fearless adventurers dived into the unknown, facing the ocean's fiercest creature, while they were engaged in a raw, candid conversation about social activism and overcoming discrimination. Mahala Monday documented this experience and wanted to share the day with them. Please enjoy this video.
Awesome.
And you're much lighter than Alex.
Oh, thank goodness.
Because Alex...
I was dreaming you'd say that.
Wait, which way should we go?
Yes.
I'm going to go like this. I'm going to push you in there.
Ah, clever. No one has ever worked out that maneuver before.
No, I've done this right. Where have we met? Because we've been in events, a lot of events together.
Yeah, I think the first time was during the pandemic. It was 2020. And we had met at the recording of a song called We Are Survivors.
Yes.
We were there to give hope to people during the pandemic through music.
Yeah.
And we were some influencers, and we all came together and we lent our voice. And what had actually happened is that there was a stage which was quite high and it was not accessible. And we were figuring out how we're going to get Tarryn to the top. And that is when we called on Siv, and Siv jumped to the occasion with his muscles, and I felt in such good hands. I was like, oh, and then he stood and he was dancing with me a bit, and yeah, that's how we met. So before we go and jump into this freaking cold water that I'm not looking forward to doing, you simply are making waves in South Africa when it comes to championing the rights of diverse groups of people. And I remember when we first met as well, you told me about a friend of yours, Alex, and Alex is also someone that uses a wheelchair. How did that friendship start? Who is Alex?
Alex was in South Africa doing an internship program. He was interning here. He had always wanted to be an intern in the travel board program. We became best friends. I'm the godfather to his child. I think I could be one of the most difficult people towards him because I treat him the way I treat all of my friends. So sometimes I hold them up to very high standards because I think disabled people should be treated the way you treat everyone else, and I think they shouldn't be treated any more special or any different. And yeah, that's the kind of view I have with Alex, and I talk to him every single day. He's actually moving to South Africa, and yeah.
So you're going to get to be close to your godchildren.
Yeah, godchild.
And have a bigger influence. How has Alex been in your life? How has that impacted you in terms of the way that you see the challenges that he has to go through and faces on a daily basis?
I think in South Africa we don't have much access to disabled people. It's like I ask my friends all the time. Technically, so Alex is disabled, but I have more disabled friends than he does. That's crazy. But I mean, even in South Africa, us everyday people, do they have access to disabled people? How often do you see disabled people on the streets in South Africa? A lot of the times it's because of access. The roads are not very disabled friendly. The transport isn't very disabled friendly. And some people have cultural, things when people who are disabled get put in their houses that they don't get seen. So for me, having Alex as a friend has shown me how difficult the world is for disabled people. And it's not things that can't be changed. Things that can be changed, ramps, accessibility, and making sure there's accessible rooms and toilets, etc., etc.
You know, I was having a meeting one day with the GM of a very big hotel, and she's from Germany. And she said to me, you know, Tarryn, when I first came to South Africa, I thought, what a healthy country, because you don't see anybody with a disability around here. Because in Germany, she's like, you see people with disabilities everywhere, and America as well. Well, I've never been, but yeah, apparently you just see people everywhere. It's part of the everyday life. Now, what are some of the juxtapositions? Because I know that you're also an advocate for the LGBTQI community. And there, too, a lot of people face discriminations when out traveling traveling and, you know, and just enjoying their life. Have you ever traveled or been out as Savannah, and what was the reaction of people when versus being out as Siv?
I think that the thing is that I'm famous, you know what I mean? People know Savannah, so I always see a different experience. It's the same as me being a black person. You know what I mean? I see how other people are treated when they're as black people in society, but for me, I'm a black person who's on television. But I think that the thing for me is even with power comes responsibility. So for me, I will fight for any people who are marginalized, who are abused or definitely being mistreated, no matter if it's disabled people, gay people, black people, women. You know, I don't care what it is, I will go in fighting. But I definitely, I would love to see the world treat people the way they want to be treated. It's something so simple, and we can do better.
Absolutely. And I mean, what a simple concept. Just treat people the way that you want to be treated, with respect, with kindness. You don't have to go overboard, which is like what you said about Alex. You don't treat Alex like he's a child now and you must go overboard to protect him.
I am the hardest on Alex. My expectations of Alex, because he's my best friend, but the expectations for him are definitely higher than most people, not because he's disabled, but because he's my best friend. And I want to be held in such high regard as well.
What kind of message of hope do you have? I wouldn't say a message of hope, but it takes courage to be bold, to step into the authenticity of who one is, regardless of your gender, regardless of if you're in a wheelchair or not. How can we inspire youth to take up these kind of causes and be more bold and to speak out against the injustices that's around?
I think it's difficult for youth to be able to go and put themselves, because I think when you're young, you care what people think. So you try and, you know, fit in with the majority who are non-disabled, if you know what I mean, or who are not different, say for them. But I think for me, it's about teaching the youth that being different is something special. Teaching the youth that not being liked is part of life, and not being okay is okay, and going out there and really fighting for the marginalized continuously. And the price to pay is authenticity, and that's invaluable.
Absolutely. Brilliant answer. And I think it also comes into that being brave, right? There's no way that you're going to be able to keep everybody happy, and we can't live in authentically just to try and appease everybody that's around us. And that takes braveness and it takes courage. So we are going to go and confront some of my fears, which is jumping into that ice cold water with the sharks.
Let's go.
So let's go be brave.
Let's go.
Before we left, we spoke a bit about you being the voice for the voiceless and championing all these causes. Where do you get this passion from and this fierceless drive as well, also just to speak your mind?
I was raised by a woman who was a principal for 34 years, and she was all about fighting for other people, and I was raised by this woman, and there's no other way. And for me, I'm all about making sure that if I'm in a room, that everyone around me is being treated the way I've been treated. I think I've had the honor and the privilege to be able to grow a brand and be known as a person of influence, or a person who is famous, in inverted commas. I hate that word. But people do treat me differently when I'm in the room. But I want people to be treated exactly the way I'm being treated.
And I applaud you for doing that, for speaking up, because so many people get into a certain room of influence and they're like, yeah, I'm here now. It's all about me. But it's really not, because we have to get to a point that we realize unless we are all thriving and contributing equally, we cannot have a society that is effectively going to be effective.
You know, in Japanese culture, they say I don't respect you because of you. I respect you because of me. I treat other people well because of me. But I think a lot of us around the world have thought that you treat people well because of them. I treat you well, not just because of you, but I treat you well because I want to be good to myself, to treat other people well. So you don't treat other people with respect because of them, you treat yourself, you treat them with respect because of you.
Yeah, because of who you are,
because
your
of who you are, yeah.
Right, and the way that you were raised, etc., etc. But a lot of people also would say, well, I treat people because I've been hurt. So the pain that I've got, I'm going to treat people with that same kind of pain, and they use their pain as a justification. But we've all been through pain, right?
Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of excuses. I don't know. I think everyone has been hurt. Everyone has been mistreated at some point in their lives. There's no reason to mistreat other people because you've been mistreated. I have no time at all for such nonsense. For me, if you have been mistreated or you have had a tough time, I think you should go out and try to change the world and make it better so other people don't experience what you experienced.
Exactly. We've got to be the problem. I'm going to be the solution. Otherwise, you're just part of the problem, right? If you're not actually...
Agreed?
I just wanted to be very crystal clear that I'm not scared of sharks. I'm scared of goatwater. The goatwater make me bang.
Yes, we finally ready to jump in. I'm looking forward to Siv's not as much. I'm looking forward to seeing the sharks up close in front and personal. Siv is grown up with a couple of them.
I grew up in the hood. We saw sharks in real life. The guys walk like this.
The sharks in my wood had no front teeth.
Yeah.
The sharks in my wood walk like that.
They're less dangerous. They'll go shark.
Being with two amazing people like Siv and Tarryn, wow, it was really a fabulous day today.
This is amazing! Do it!
Sharks was one of the greatest experience that I had.
I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed the day. We took the road at 4 o'clock and drove to Marine Dynamics in Gansbaai. Nevertheless, Tarryn and myself spoke all the way to Gansbaai while Siv was taking his beauty sleep before he met the sharks. The trip on the boat to the spot was crazy. I'm telling you, speeds I really couldn't understand. It was really amazing. And all I can say was I was happy sitting watching them from the boat while they were in the cold water with those sharks. Seeing the sharks up close was such an experience and something I will never forget. I want to thank Tarryn and Siv for inviting me and Mahala Monday viewers to come and experience this unforgettable day and wish you both all the best for your future plans and continue being the social activist that you are. This trip was made possible by Marine Dymanics. I want to thank the staff for their amazing hospitality. Go and find out more about Marine Dymanics on their website and go and find out all the different activities they have for you and your family. Guys, holidays is coming up now. Do yourself a trip and go to Gansbaai. It's really a place to be. So guys, thank you for watching the show and everything of the best for the week. Guys, don't forget you need to subscribe and hit the bell and share. See you next week. Bye.